Need a bigger
What video
This
is
was
it?
a real struggle.
137. Yeah, it's the All-Star Spectacular.
Yeah, but you ought to get in there.
3, 2, 1.
Well, hello collectors, here we are again. Boy, oh boy, you'll notice we have quite a crowd here for video number 137, is it? Boy, oh boy, we may need 2 videos just to get everybody in here. You know, boy, it's a good thing there's nothing in there. Would have been the first one I would have spilled. But a lot of you guys, this is what, 137, Ob? Is
That's
that what
right,
it is?
137.
137, yeah. I got to get past all these introductions because everybody wants a drink, I know. So we'll do it quick, but you know most of these people, I think, and you know Michelle, you know Barry, and this is Mom here, Barry's mother, the nicest lady I know.
Oh, yeah, right.
It is, yeah, and the sexiest too. I'm telling you, boy, don't let Barry leave you alone, you know.
Turning this into an army.
And Johnny's still here? It's
Johnny's here, yes.
That's great.
So we got
One more.
We got a big crowd of people here today. I don't know what the heck we're going to do, but we're going to try to show you a few things and maybe entertain you a little bit. We'll do the best we can anyhow. So the first thing, though, you know what I'm going to say, Michelle?
It's 12 o'clock somewhere.
It's got to be 12 o'clock somewhere, yeah. So let's start with that. Michelle's the official bartender. She has a union card, so we don't have to worry about being raided or anything.
You're right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think what we're going to do on this video, Barry has brought some things that he's going to show from your personal collection.
Yep, 3 things.
Three things.
I'll ask you to bring a few things.
Well, we
right.
that'll be welcome, and like we say, with things from somebody's personal collection, they don't want to sell them, they just want to show them. So don't everybody be calling, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, because it can't be done. So, are you going to be showing this edge weapons or helmets or?
It's a surprise.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise, but
Complete surprise?
they're going to get a good variety of stuff, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely some edge weapons will be in there.
Well, I'm glad you showed off your mother anyhow. That's the most important part, you know. It's,
I'm glad I'm here. Thank you, Lord.
yeah, you're here. And you know, Mom's drinking too, you know.
Yeah.
She's
Let's
not.
do
She's
some
not having.
advertising.
She's
Yeah,
not
where's
having
my
an infant
booze?
Coke.
Where I
She's
put
having
it?
a lime claw.
All right.
Yeah, that
Came in
lime
handy.
claw, that's good stuff.
Yeah, she likes that.
That's like a beer, isn't it? Alcohol-wise?
Oh, I
or-
love this.
It's a, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
White
spike
claw.
seltzer. Here you go, Bob.
yeah,
Thank you.
Hopefully, that's
Tom,
this
here
portion.
your coaster.
okay.
Johnny, where do you want yours?
Hand
Do you
would be
need a
great.
coaster? Or no?
Just in my hand.
All right, we're just gonna get a drink and have a quick toast.
Johnny, you want a
waiting,
cigar?
right?
You want a cigar?
I'd love one.
All right, here's
Hi,
to you.
salute.
I salute.
Yeah, salute everybody.
Cheers.
Yep,
Cheers. Bob.
everybody but
Cheers.
me here.
Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Where's my cigar?
Aha! You want a bigger one? A big fat one? That would look good.
It's a joke.
That'd be a little much, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think so.
All right, so here's to you guys, and I know it's early, I always say that, but what the heck.
All right, we need that.
Oh, that's better, yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one. You like it?
That's a good one, yeah.
The first one's always the best.
Better. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's it. So, all right, Johnny, you can light up here if you like, and nothing more important, guys, than lighting a cigar, unless it's a chained SS we're showing you, but you know how that is. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we're ready to roll.
Okay.
What are you
First of
going
all,
to show us, Barry?
what have you been doing this summer? You done anything fun this summer?
Well, I wrote up some SA armbands. I bought some gravity knives.
You do that in the winter time and spring.
That's my life. I hate to say it, but I don't do anything.
You don't go to the beach?
No, I work 7 days a week. I truly do.
Mhm.
Every time I go to the beach, which hasn't been years now, you just get sunburn, and I don't like the sand anyhow, so I'd rather be down here in my cellar.
Gotcha.
DTC.
I guess people say, well, gee, you never have any fun, but this
is fun to you,
fun.
yeah?
This is fun to me. I enjoy talking and corresponding with so many nice collectors and all. And by the way, Barry and I were just saying that there really are an awful lot of nice people in this hobby, and
Super
you
people,
feel the
really.
same way
yeah,
too.
Yeah, I've been
don't you?
collecting 50 years. Well, we've been collecting about the same amount of time, but
Yeah.
my dad, who died unfortunately 4 years ago, he used to always say at the shows, "This is where all the good people are."
Yeah.
And Tom and I agree that
that's right.
there's a lot of great people at the shows.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with your job or your position in life or what you were born or who the hell you are. It's just everybody is accepted in this because we all have the one interest in common,
Right.
and that's what makes it so great. Because no matter who you're talking to, you know, the guy could be 6 foot tall or 3 foot tall, and you know, who knows where he's got a foreign accent or something.
Yeah.
But you can stand there for hours talking about
Yeah.
the one subject.
Yeah, and it's great. You meet so many people from around the world
yeah,
too.
yeah, you do.
We
You
have
really
friends
do.
from Japan.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if we know anything about anything else, but we're we know a lot about the hobby stuff anyhow. So, all right. So what are we going
Okay.
to do, Bar?
All right, the very first thing I want to show you is a helmet that my father and I.
Hey, Pop, you gotta let Johnny come in this on the other side
get
there.
in
You
here.
gotta tighten
I know,
up.
we like you having
Yeah.
you there. Got
There
that
you
great parrot
Get
shirt
tight.
on.
It's that assassin shirt.
Yeah, you can't get too fat, or we'll be won't be able to do these.
I think you helmet collectors are going to like this. Ooh. My dad and I acquired this in 1998. We did a lot of advertising here in South Jersey,
Boy, look at
and
that.
it's just in really remarkable condition.
Wow.
For you helmet fanatics, I already know this, but I'm
Well,
going to
you're
double check
making
myself.
everybody jealous already. I know. Anybody got a helmet that good out there? Not many of you, I'll bet.
Is that the champagne shield?
No,
No. Okay.
this is an ET64 shell. But what's really
That's an average size, or
That's an average size.
Yeah.
That's the one. There's the 60, which is way too small. There's a 62, which is that's borderline.
Yeah.
But most collectors want them 64 and up. So 64,
Yeah.
66, 68. They even made a 70, if you can believe it. They even made a 72.
what's that? A Sergeant Schultz version or something? Or?
I only saw one. Ken, I can't pronounce his last name. Ken N, I'll call him. He wrote a book on German helmets. He had a 72.
I
It
never
was
heard
on the
of that.
table,
Wow.
and it didn't look real. It looked like a bell.
It must have looked like a punch bowl out
Yeah,
there or
yeah.
something. Wow.
Is
So-
that a double decal?
It's a single decal
Okay, so-
Model
okay.
40.
Mhm.
And
Okay, now we call this a 40 because of the brim, right?
the rolled rim, and
Yeah.
also the air vents are made directly into the helmet shell.
Yeah, they were stamped out of it.
Right.
They're not a separate. It's a 35, is it? Where they're
35.
separate rivets.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then this was the
Now,
next
when
model,
I
the
see
40.
that decal, I'm thinking, boy, that's amazing, isn't it?
Well, that's why you should document everything, which
Yeah.
my dad and I always did. And
Yeah.
I can't emphasize it enough. Let me tell you a little bit about the phone call we got from this man. We advertised a lot, and guy calls us up one day and he says, "Hey, I have a German helmet I want to sell." He goes, "It's an SS helmet."
How did he know that?
My dad was always skeptical, like you, and the guy said, "Well, it has lightning bolts on it."
Oh, that's a good sign.
we
if he
couldn't
calls
wait to
them
get up
lightning
there.
bolt. Yeah.
And the guy's name was Lester Fox, and he lived in Williamstown, not too far from
I
here.
know where Williamstown is, yeah.
And-
That was a country place years ago. Not so much anymore, but there was a lot of country there, farms and...
And he was the vet?
Yeah.
there?
You're really good with this documenting everything. You like
Yeah.
to take the... You know,
We're doing it a while.
I remember when you showed us that Knight's Cross that you bought back in 1988, you had the picture of you buying it and
Yeah.
everything else,
Mhm.
and
We actually have a video too, which
Yeah.
I'll show that another time.
okay.
But it
A
was
Last-
competitive
1988.
video? No.
It was in
we
1988. I think it was 2000
Yeah, well, that was, yeah, I can't.
of
2016.
Yeah.
I thought you said it was
Yeah.
1980, but
I also was able
a
to
lie there.
No,
was also able to get Lester Fox's uniform too, and he was in the 88th Infantry Division. Which
Let me take
they
a
were
look at
called
him. I can't see it from upside down.
What a
Oh,
great
well, he
name
was,
too.
he was up
Lester
there.
Fox.
Lester Fox,
That's a
yeah.
He was
great
fairly
name.
well up there when you
He was, yeah.
Wow, look at that in his uniform and all.
Yeah. Here's
Wow.
my documentation letter, which I had him sign.
See, collectors, if you can do stuff like this, there's never any doubt, and it always it not only adds value, but people are so happy because they know there's no risk involved. You know, it's that's a great way to, and that's one thing you guys should remember for those of you who are still buying things from families, and every so often, you know, the families they call up and. Pop died a couple years ago, and geez, there's a trunk in the attic, and there's 4 Nazi helmets with it. What do we do with them? You know, and it still happens today, right, Barry?
It sure does. In fact, it happened last week to us.
Before you put that helmet away, I'm just curious. I know SS helmets can be really, really pricey. We don't usually talk about prices on the show, but I'm just kind of interested. What's a helmet like that worth in that condition? A lot, I would think.
In today's market,
Yeah, today's market.
it would be worth realistically $8,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a nice.
And I've had offers on it for around that kind of money. And
Wow,
it's going to be one of the last things I'll sell.
I would never sell that. I would try to tell the funeral director to make room in the box. So that I could,
Now you're talking. Get another box.
separate box for it.
Get 2 more pallbearers, or
Yeah, right. Well, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for showing us
You
that.
betcha.
I am rather jealous of that, I must say. That's.
you have 100 times more
I know.
that I'm jealous of.
That's the
Well,
collector
that's,
trap, you know.
Boy,
always
that's a
something
nice
else.
helmet. Well, I hope you guys like seeing that. What else you got, sir?
Well, here's something I think you'll really enjoy. We talked about this before, but back in let me see, I think it was the early 90s. I'm going to say 1994. In New York Times Magazine, there was an article that was entitled "Evil for Sale."
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's where they ripped us apart, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
they came to a show in Baltimore, I believe, and interviewed
That's right.
us.
That's
and,
right. Because the feature dealer happened to be Bud Hasher.
Right.
And Bud Hasher, I knew him very well. Didn't have all the best, most original things, and I'm very skeptical of this particular photo album. He said that was supposedly
Yeah.
bound in human skin.
Yeah,
I do not believe it
I
at
don't
all.
like that kind of stuff anyhow.
No, me either. We don't deal with
And,
that.
and of course, the New York Reporter had to go in on that one to
Yeah.
really make us all look like a bunch of
Exactly.
thugs and,
Yeah.
and nuts, and because that article was very, very slanted.
Mm-hmm.
It did nothing to make collectors look.
Nothing at all. No.
I remember it well. I was very embarrassed about it.
That's what you call a hit job.
It was a hit job.
Well, within the article was, and that is an essay honor dagger, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, if you read the article, they claimed, I guess Bud Hasher at the time claimed that was worth $100,000. Would that sound right back in '94?
No.
Not
no,
that
no.
much, right?
No, dagger like that in those days was 8,000 to 10,000, something like that, which was a lot of money
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
then.
sure.
Too. Yeah.
But I used to advertise in a magazine in South Jersey called The Treasure Chest. And I got a lot of calls. I think it went all the way up to Massachusetts, down to
Oh, is that
North
so? Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah, a lot of people
So-
in that area in between, and yeah.
So a woman called me up, and she was from North Jersey, and she says, I have one of these daggers, and I want to sell it. I said, well, what do you want for it? And she said, well, what do you think?
$100,000.
So I said, well, can you send me pictures of it? Because back then, we didn't have cell phones. And
Why do I think this is just going to be a regular SA dagger that she had? Why do I think that? Is that what it was?
because they made millions of them.
That could be. Go ahead.
So she calls, and she says, I actually have 2 daggers and a bayonet. I said, send me pictures of them. So she sends me pictures, and It's a regular SA dagger,
Yeah,
an SS dagger, and a standard Mauser dress bayonet.
but still good stuff.
Yeah,
though.
still good stuff.
Yeah.
So I showed her Johnson's book, where the original book had prices in there of the of daggers, every type of dagger.
Yeah.
I said, look, this is what he's saying retail is.
Yeah.
So I told her the number, which I can't remember now. She wanted a little bit more. I said, let's, how about
She
if we-
came down from the 100,000.
well, way down, way down. I'm talking, you're probably under, was probably under 2,000. And she said I said, all right, I'll pay your price. And she goes, well, maybe you might be interested in knowing who brought these back. I said, sure, I'm always interested in knowing.
Right,
And
right.
she said, well, my brother is Ed Koch, the mayor of New York.
That was the mayor of New York.
Yeah.
You guys remember
Yeah.
Ed Koch? You guys old enough to remember him? He was quite a character, too,
Yes, he
wasn't
was. He had a great sense
I
of
liked
humor.
him.
Yeah,
I liked him. I
did
thought
too.
he did a good job in
Yeah.
New York City. Yeah, there's old Ed, yeah. He was, what, in the 90s, I guess?
Yeah, 94.
Yeah,
He's a tall guy.
And
yeah.
yeah.
here's a picture of him during World War II. He was with the 104th Infantry Division, the Timberwolves.
Now, I missed something. How did Ed Koch come into this?
Well, because the woman said, hey, you might be interested in knowing who brought these back. And I
Oh,
said,
and
I
that's
always
when
am.
the-
And she says, well, my brother's Ed Koch. And I said, well, look, I'd like to pay your price, but can I meet him? And she goes, yeah, he's coming over for dinner tonight.
Wow.
He goes, I'll give the daggers to him. He'll get in touch with you, and then you can come up and meet him in his office. I
Isn't
said,
that
that's
something?
super. So we made
Wow.
the arrangements, and this is in 1994 when I was practically a kid. I walked.
Practically.
Hey,
You're right,
cut the camera.
Yeah, that's Ed there, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
tall.
I thought he was a short guy, but when I opened the door, he opened the door, I should say, I had to look up at him.
Oh, is he real tall?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first thing he said to me, too, he said, do you swear you're not a Nazi? And we both had a good laugh. But I had this completely documented, and what's really interesting about this documentation letter is he wasn't happy with mine. He was a lawyer. So he took my letter and did a draft of it and had it notarized by his personal notary.
And put it in lawyer style boilerplate and all that,
Yeah,
I
And
guess.
that's his signature there.
So let's look at the daggers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm curious now, Ed, I think was Jewish, was he not?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was
He
Jewish.
was Jewish, wasn't
Jewish,
he?
yeah, he was Jewish.
And how did the dagger get into his possession?
Well, interestingly, he was in the 104th Infantry Division at the end of the war.
He was a vet.
And he was in the military government. I forget what town it was. So he
Yeah.
really got his start in politics in Nazi Germany, well, post-Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
So he started there, but he sent them back to his sister.
I
So
know,
his sister
yeah.
decided she wanted to sell them, and
Yeah.
I never did ask him who got the money.
Johnny, you want to see something funny? Johnny, is that envelope still there? Is there an envelope that's addressed to my grandmother on top of that
Boy, there
wood
was.
thing? Is that still there?
Before we cleared everything out. Yep.
We'll give that to Barry, and then take what's in there out of that envelope. What's that dated though? With postmark?
93.
What is that, the same
The
article?
same exact article. And I just found that the other day and brought it over because we celebrated Mama's
Coincidence?
thing. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, that article, I remember a guy, reporter from, we were just getting started in the Mac show in those days, and a reporter from New York called and said he would like to come down and do a story on these collectibles. And he seemed like a really, really nice guy, and he was really interested in everything during the show. And we talked to him, and we thought, wow, this is really going to be a nice thing for the hobby. And it turns out it was the worst thing for the hobby because they just made us look like we were all crazy.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
it just was a shame.
No, I'm reluctant to do articles myself, too.
Well, I learned a
Yeah.
lot from that.
Yeah.
I learned with doing the Mac show that whenever reporters wanted to do anything, I knew right away that that is a no-no, because all they want to do is focus in on something with a swastika on it and make us all look like we're skinheads or something,
Right.
which couldn't be further from the truth.
Correct.
But in your case, it did pretty good for
Yeah.
that. So
Well, there's a lot of Jewish collectors out there too. I've met a lot of them.
Absolutely.
yeah, there are.
Mhm.
There are. Well, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be, because there's no kind of hate here. There's no
Zero.
anti-Semitism in this hobby. It's just a hobby. It's an historical thing. The stuff is beautiful, the artwork in it, and so forth. Just because you like that doesn't mean that they associate with
Yeah, it's historical too.
You feel the same way,
100%,
Johnny? I mean,
100%.
it's a shame.
Something I
I
wish was
usually don't
clearer.
like to talk about this kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but it is a shame that we're considered anti-Semitic people and terrorists and you name it, and it's just not fair.
No.
It's not fair.
And even the Holocaust Museum, they have a lot of German World War II items too, which is
They
great
do,
to show
and
people.
and I've mentioned before, I've been instrumental now with helping two Holocaust museums getting started and furnishing them with materials, which I donated, by the way, and I don't want to get into all
Yeah,
that, but
right.
it's too. But anyhow, what else? How
So
we
there's-
got here's
the bayonet.
Wait, I
Two
get
other
off
blades.
one thing. I'm sorry, Barry.
That's
Trying to
okay.
throw
You're
some,
right, though. You're right, though. It's good to.
So here's the bayonet that Ed Koch touched.
Where did he touch it?
Oh, your thumb's still
Okay.
aching, right? Do you need help or not?
My thumb is in terrible shape. I can't draw a bayonet
I
out
don't
of
think
a
there's
scabbard.
anything special about it, but
No, that is what you call a standard K98 dress bayonet, short model. What I like about it too, you haven't cleaned it or done anything
Never
to it.
touched
It's probably just
it.
the way Ed gave it to you.
That's
isn't it?
right.
Yeah. Yes.
That's right.
And even no maker mark on it, so it's couldn't be more standard.
Well, at least you got a frog.
Yeah, you got a frog. Yeah.
You know.
I see you back there, Mom. You ready for another drink? You know, we have a bartender here if you are.
Not at all. Thanks.
use this thing. There's the SA dagger that was not what she thought it was.
You mean it was not an SA high leader?
Bit of a disappointment, huh? That's
How's
nice
that
and
look,
early,
Johnny?
though. It looks packaged, doesn't it?
Looks packish, yeah. It
Yeah.
does look like a pack, but you know, a lot of them do, and it's got that short scabbard mount and a straight across cross guard, but
Yeah.
Let's take a look
but
at
we're
it, John.
probably
Can you lay it
wrong.
out?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Lay it out for us.
Love them when they have all the original hangers.
I like the hanger, yeah.
Yeah, anodizing. Beautiful early. Look at the fit.
yeah. Show us who made it.
Yeah.
Can we do that, Barry?
Absolutely.
Look at that blade. Oh, blade is super.
Yeah.
Well, that was a nice dagger. Yeah.
Come on, Sul. Oh, wow. It is, but it's a fully ground Rome. It's not full, though. Look at that. You got the top of the umlaut over Rome is still pretty clear.
It's a packed dagger, though.
Oh,
I think,
yeah,
isn't it?
absolutely,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the part of the maker mark right
Yeah.
there. That's pack.
And Paco, the grips are so
Yeah.
similar too. You know, the way they made them. They either dealt with the same company all the time that made the grips, or they just, I don't know. But it's amazing how every company, at least the bigger companies, there's always things that are unique with
Yeah,
them. And,
you can recognize that.
and that's fun too.
Yeah.
Once you get a little bit sophisticated in the
Right.
hobby.
Well,
it's,
years ago, the soul daggers, they're lacquered.
The Sewell daggers had the
And-
walnut grips because Sewell made guns, so
Right.
they used the gun stocks
Yeah.
to make the which is
Different wood,
walnut.
yeah.
But I'll bet that people over the years took the lacquer off.
Yeah, they did.
They thought vets did that, right?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
So then that was a different thing. It's a different. So like Ascalop and Hako, we were talking about this yesterday, were
Yeah,
known
yeah, yeah.
for lacquering their grips, and people would clean it off. And so now you find one that's got the original lacquer. It's all about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Well,
one's
that
a
looks
little
like
damaged.
an SS dagger.
Yes, indeed.
How can you tell, Tom?
I can tell because of the chip in the grip.
Yeah,
They're all chipped.
they all
It seems
have
like
that.
they always chipped it. Don't scratch that up, Johnny.
No, it's beauty.
The last video you had gloves on, and everybody,
did.
I saw
Did people
2 or 3
appreciate that,
people.
huh?
Oh, it's so good to
Yeah.
see you wearing
They're right,
gloves.
they're
What
right.
happened to the
Yeah.
gloves? Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Now
right.
they're going to say, "Ah, you guys."
back to our sloppy ways.
Yeah, sloppy ways.
We'll just
Yeah.
back on. No, that was just such a perfect NSKK. I couldn't touch it. Oh wow.
So what do we have here?
Well.
Well, we
Fast
got it. We got
SS.
an SS dagger with a few chips in the grip,
Okay, we'll get beyond that.
but nice
Original.
fittings, huh? And,
Yeah.
and the blade looks nice, and here's a piece too that I'm sure would have had an
It
anodized
dies originally.
scabbard,
Yeah, you can
and
still see it. Yeah.
and they repainted. Whoever owned this dagger wore it a lot of years, I'm
Yeah.
sure, originally.
Liked it.
Yeah.
Wanted it to look good.
And
Repainted
so this
it.
is the Ed Koch collection we're looking at, right? The one that Barry got.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Who's the
great.
maker on that one, Johnny?
Oh, lovely. Wow. Nice early double oval acorn.
Yeah, well, that would be a Rome then, but it looks like a factory job. Done,
Yep,
it's done
absolutely.
so well.
Yeah, that's a factory reground Rome. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice piece.
Nice. Wow.
I'll tell you one thing.
Very nice.
I know
Thanks.
by looking at this, this dagger, of course, goes back to the initial production because it was issued as a Rome. But when you look at the time that this was worn and just the whole thing about it, I mean, this guy may have started out as a Scharfeuer or something, who knows, but this dagger was worn for 8 or 10
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
and who knows what this man was, or what he accomplished, or whatever. And boy, if there were a serial number or
Yeah,
something,
really.
on it,
And that it wound up in Ed Koch's hands.
yeah, it just
A Jewish soldier, which is
Yeah.
great.
I like these. You collectors know, I think I've told you before, that whenever you see this small double oval on an SS dagger, it is always a Rome, because that was they used that small trademark because they needed the room to put the Rome inscription on it. So that just conforms with everything. Sometimes they'll have a number on the bottom of the cross guards of these things too. Not always, but let me put my glasses on here.
Now this is the kind of dagger people will say, "Wow, the condition," but
Well,
it's
there we
all
go.
it's all original age. It's beautiful.
Here we
Been
go.
there.
I'm not.
Let me guess. It's a 3.
No, it's a 5. You don't see a 5 too often.
Really?
Let me see.
But what that was, these were. You have to remember, Rome, who was in charge of the SS at this time. This was before the purge. He insisted that the early SS members should receive the daggers with his inscription, and he wanted them done first. Those guys were, and they didn't have to pay for them. The other guys had to pay for their daggers. He wanted them done first, and apparently the Eichhorn, of course, made a lot of them, but they had an inspector there to make sure they were up to par, and that's why you see these numbers. They're 0 to 9. So, and sometimes you don't see any number at all, and I suspect that I don't know, the guy went out to lunch or something, or who knows. But that is that's a dagger that, boy, if it had a serial number, because you just know whoever
Yeah.
this guy was, he was a long-term member.
That's good to know.
Right down to the point of his anodizing wore off, so he had it
Yeah.
painted, and then the
Yeah.
paint wore
Yeah,
off too. I
yeah.
mean, this guy was everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was played with a lot right after
No,
the war,
you
because
could-
Ed
no.
Koch sent it
No.
home to his sister, and I don't think she was playing
It's
with
all
it after the
period
war.
wear. I love it. The little tiny dings and the little.
You know, you
Boy, that's
wonder
been
though,
there.
did he wear it with the chips, or did that happen afterwards? I mean,
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah.
But that dagger really talks to you. Well, okay, we saw some good things from Johnny, but you know what happened?
Ran
happened,
out
Michelle?
of drinks. Drink number
We
2.
ran out of drinks. I can't believe it.
Barry. We saw good things from Barry. Johnny's is helping.
Well, what did I say?
He said Johnny.
I'm drunk already?
Yeah, you're drunk already.
You're working on it.
Michelle?
Oh, so early in the morning with nothing in your stomach.
Michelle,
you
you're
know?
gonna have to cut him off. That's it.
He's got to compare.
You can have one more.
One more. Okay.
There we go.
What a mess.
She doesn't use her hands.
That's fun. You guys don't mind, do you? You know, it's really fun, guys, when you know other people that collect and all, and you can come over and talk and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And don't you like that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad I live
a
so
whole other-
close.
No,
Johnny's got to come all the way from Germany.
Yeah.
I'm 40
that's
minutes
his
away.
problem.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
but he does it, doesn't he?
Yes, he
does
does.
it. Oh well.
Feels like you were just here.
Now, do you sleep in Jack's bed?
Don't ask where I've been sleeping.
I'm going to have to say. Can I tell
You
him?
can tell the story.
Poor Johnny.
No,
Robbie and Johnny went out
Oh,
last
man.
night.
great steaks.
And
That was amazing.
had Johnny ate two 34-ounce steaks, so I don't know why he's so thin,
It is
but
true.
Mirror appetizer for this man.
I like steak.
so he drifts back here about midnight, and we're all sound asleep.
Thanks, Michelle.
You left
And,
them. You got them.
unfortunately, I had thought he had the house keys, but he didn't. And instead of throwing stones at the window, our doorbells don't work. So instead of throwing stones at the window and all that, Johnny spent the night on my deck outside.
You didn't.
He did. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I opened the back
That scared the
door.
hell out of him, I think.
And I see this guy that looked
Stretched
like
out on the
Johnny.
porch.
I thought, well, maybe it's a raccoon dressed up like Johnny. And he comes in,
It's tough.
and then, what the hell are you doing there? He says, well, I got locked out last night. And then I thought to
It's not
myself,
easy.
I thought to myself, boy, I'm a hell of a nice person, right? Inviting these people over and get the hell out and sleep on the deck.
On the deck?
It's not easy.
Did you use
On the
anything
deck,
for a
no.
pillow?
No.
So this is
Oh,
what
no,
happens
yeah, I
in
took the
this
cushion
hobby
off the thing,
too.
but it was on the deck. Because I tried the couch. There's a couch out there, but it's too short.
That was
So-
very honorable of you.
So no, I didn't want to wake him
Well,
up.
I think it was your fault because you were too late
There
coming
you go.
back.
That's it.
You know.
That's it. That means it's Robbie's fault.
It's
By
my-
default.
well,
Yeah,
it's
all right, we
always-
figured it
it's
out.
Robbie's fault.
It's always my fault.
That ob, you gotta watch that ob when
Oh,
it
it was
comes
a
to
great night,
alcohol
Robbie. Thank you, man.
and good
I
food.
enjoyed
So.
it. I enjoyed it.
So where are we now,
Okay,
guys?
I got one more thing I want to show you from my collection. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Funny story though.
It is.
My mother, Virginia, as you saw earlier,
Oh, wait a
she used to
second.
work for the.
There she is. Yep.
She used to work
No
for the.
close-ups.
Isn't she good looking, guys?
No
Oh, I
close-ups.
love it. She looked so good looking.
She used to work for the Meals on Wheels program in Millville, New Jersey. Well, back in, I'm going to say it was probably about 1985, an older German couple came in and they signed up for the luncheon program.
Yeah.
And my mom says, you know what, he was a German soldier during World War II. His name during World War II was Erich Podlaski, but when he came over here after the war, he changed it to Underwood. I guess Podlaski means Unterholz in German, and Unterholz
Is
being
Underwood, yeah.
right.
Does that
means
sound right,
Underwood.
Johnny?
Yeah.
That well, yeah.
Johnny would know.
So our friend Eric happened to live in the same village as Adolf Galland. Adolf Galland
Oh, wow.
was the Inspector General of Fighters during World War II from 1941 until the end of the war.
And Knight's Cross. and
Oak leaf,
Oak Leaf,
swords,
the whole bit. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But after Mollers was killed in an aircraft accident,
Yeah.
Adolf Galland took over.
Yeah.
Well, our friend Eric Underwood, he lived only a few doors down from the Galland family. There were 4 sons, and all of them were in the Luftwaffe.
Whoa.
And this is the Galland family household in Westerholt on Bührerstrasse 1.
Yeah.
Bührerstrasse Street 1. rather.
Oh, it's a house. I thought
Yeah,
we were looking
yeah,
at
yeah,
something.
yeah.
there,
Looks
but,
like Haddonfield.
Yeah, it does look like Haddonfield, yeah.
So I have
Okay.
always had a interest in the Golan family. I've been writing a book, a lot of people don't know this, for a long time.
They do now.
Yeah. It's about a special Luftwaffe fighter squadron called Sturmstaffel 1, Assault Squadron 1. And I can explain that at another time in another video. But Eric Underwood, he used to go to the same church as the Golans. He said he used to see them all sitting together in the front pew. There was also a little pond there. He remembers seeing them ice skate in the pond.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So the youngest of the Golan brothers was Paul Golan, and he was in the same unit. This is where Golan really got his notoriety.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's called Schlaggater 26, Schlaggater 26, fighter wing, Jagdgeschwader Schlaggater, which is very famous fighter wing. And they were called the Abbeville Boys, and they were based out of France during the Battle of Britain. Well, Golan had dozens of kills during the Battle of Britain, and his brother was also in the same unit. He was the squadron commander of the 8th Squadron of JG 26, Fighter Wing 26. So there's Paul Gallant. Here's a picture of him in his cockpit. But he was killed on October 31st, 1942. And
This was the brother.
this is the brother. He was
Yeah.
the youngest of the 4 Gallant brothers.
And they were all in the Luftwaffe?
Every one of
Wow,
them was in the
that's
Luftwaffe.
something.
And his other brother, Wilhelm Ferdinand Galland, was shot down during the, the Schweinfurt-Regensburg raid of August 17th, 1943.
They made movies about that.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
group commander, and he was killed at that time. But this is the youngest brother. And this is a condolence card, which is I find to be really, really cool, from the parents of Adolf Galland. Adolf and I think her name was Anna Galland.
Mm-hmm.
But she was sending this to somebody, thanking them for, or thanking person, whoever sent it, for their condolences.
The Germans were great at thanking
Yeah.
people, weren't they? They
Yeah.
always, you wondered, the one card came, then
Yeah.
you send another card, then you have to send another card, and when you get done with it, it just went on and on. But that's,
Yeah.
I guess, a European.
So-
way.
And Barry, this is the death card. It's a facsimile.
Yeah,
This
that's-
is
yeah, that's a
right?
copy.
Do you have the
Yeah.
front? No picture on the front, but that's a copy. Okay.
You're not going to
But this,
fool Lob.
let me see, where is this? Do I have the original death notice for Paul? Is that on the back of that, Johnny? Yeah, there it is. That's
Oh, there it
original
is.
death
Okay,
notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this might, I think this will interest you guys a lot more than the photos.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about it.
Get these photos out of here. Let's see.
Take it easy.
Wow, here we
believe
go.
you,
Yeah.
we
Now
believe
we're
you.
talking, guys.
That's
Now we
Paul
know.
Galland's honor goblet.
Wow,
Taken
really?
right out of his house.
What was his,
Yeah.
was he an officer?
Lieutenant.
A lieutenant?
So second
Yeah.
lieutenant.
Yeah, a lot of these goblets are under officers, and but that's
And that one was actually issued posthumously after he was killed in December
so?
of
Yeah.
42. Yeah.
You spin
nobody
it,
ever
John.
cleaned it, did they?
That's the good part about
Yeah.
it, I like it.
Nobody ever
Yeah.
cleaned it.
Don't clean these if you got one at home.
Yeah, you hear that, collectors? Don't clean this stuff.
And Barry, is it named on the?
Yeah, we can show that. Let's see where it starts.
Boy, I love those goblets. They're beautiful.
Oh, they're
Just
collectors of it. You can have 100 things, but just to have one
Just
thing
one.
like this is yeah. We can see here it's Lieutenant Paul Gallant. Were you ever to get that, Ob, or did I go too
It's
fast?
a little too fast, but just go
All
ahead.
right.
Lieutenant, yep, I got Lieutenant. Go ahead. from there.
Lieutenant Paul.
Wow,
There's a little rub on the Paul, but you can still say it's Paul.
Boy, I'll tell
Did you rub that?
I think you just did.
hoping for a genie.
Yeah. And with these Luft goblets, too.
Just give it one little spin, yeah. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
This is the date that it was awarded, which was December 2nd, 1942, I believe.
God, that's a great piece, Barry.
And,
Yeah.
these goblets, they have the Iron Cross on the one side and the the two fighting eagles on the other side. And this stuff was, it was pressed out of the metal before they formed the goblet. So it's very beautiful. Let's see what it's probably an alpaca piece, I would think, but yeah, there we can see it's alpaca. It seems like it's very rare to see an all silver one. Maybe they were the first ones.
They were the
something.
first ones. Yeah, I would say out of every 50 is going to be
Yeah,
a
they're
35
usually
silver.
alpaca. And you guys know that alpaca was a kind of an artificial silver that the Germans developed, or they copied it off the Chinese, I think, or something. But it has the same qualities of silver, the way patinas.
Exactly.
And all. Yeah.
Sometimes people think they are all silver because of the nice patina.
Well, they look like it, you know. They just,
And I'll give a shout out to who I got this from, who got it right from the veterans family, Ron Winan. I'm sure you dagger collectors know him. But when I learned that he had this, I just had
Ron Winan.
Yeah, you know that guy? He does daggers. You wouldn't know.
Ron is one of my good buddies over the years. Ron was doing motel buys when he got out of high school, I think.
Yeah, he got a lot of great stuff.
Ron has a complete dagger collection. Every single piece is veteran documented. Every single piece that he got. So anything that comes from Ron is always cool stuff.
Since this was awarded after Paul Galland's death, I'm 99.9% certain it came right out of the Galland household. And I even researched the unit that went through Westerholt. And I'm pretty sure I know the exact company that went into the house.
So there we are, guys, a Luftwaffe honor goblet from Galland's brother Paul.
Fully documented.
And he was killed, you said?
Killed, yeah.
That's a shame.
1942, October 42.
Was he younger, do you know, or?
He was the youngest of the four Galland brothers.
That's a
yeah.
shame, yeah.
I forget
You think
the oldest brother's
Did the other
name.
two get through okay, or? I know Galland did. But,
Two survived. The oldest brother survived, and Adolf Galland. Wilhelm Ferdinand Wutz, that was his nickname, Galland. He was killed during the Regensburg-Schweinfurt mission, and Paul was killed in 42 during the attacks against England.
Well, this is war.
Yeah.
And okay, here we are, guys. We're still with Barry, and you guys might remember in a couple of videos ago, Barry showed me a wonderful dagger that he in his collection was sent. It's still in the original box, which probably the veteran made too.
Oh, yeah,
This
sure.
guy was kind of a nice carpenter. From Master Sergeant John Cannon, sent it home. The stamps are
Yeah,
still
look at those
on
old
here.
stamps and the
Oh yeah, and
great,
then
it's
the
dated here.
the customs thing,
45.
1945, yeah.
Wow.
And this dagger you acquired through a veteran source and all that. And I think you guys will remember it from the
1, 2, 3. It was Down the
1, 2,
Cellar, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, okay.
That Barry knows.
So so what we had inside of the box was a really late but mint SA dagger. And when we looked at it, we couldn't. The runners were all screwed up in the
Tightest
scabbard,
I've ever
and
seen. You
and
almost
it wouldn't come out, and it was. And I felt that just to put it in was sort of damaging the blade. It almost felt like that. So what I want you to do, Barry, is pick that up and tell me whether it's any better now, sir. Just pick it up and.
Look at that. Unbelievable.
Perfect.
You think that's a little
Perfect.
better?
Outstanding. You got to send me the bill.
No bill. No, friends are friends. We do stuff like that for friends.
But
But
you got a lot of friends. That's the problem.
He does these things a lot.
that was a very hard thing. That the insides of that scabbard were all screwed up. I mean,
Really?
completely
Yeah.
screwed up.
Now, do you think it left the factory that way?
I think because it was so late that they just didn't do it properly. And but
What a beautiful dagger.
you know, this dagger is absolutely mint SA, and when you have something like this, and when you pull it out, you want it to, you know, you don't want to go.
It's almost like it was crazy glued in there.
And there it is.
That is beautiful.
Excalibur.
And it just with a
Awesome.
click. So there you go. You're all set.
Thanks a lot, Tom. I really
Thanks, Tom.
appreciate that.
No, I was glad to do it. It's an
original box.
honor. It's
Yeah.
an honor to do something
Your
like
honor,
that.
your honor is loyalty, right?
Well-
you got one
You
step
got
closer to heaven. But remember, there's
Yeah.
a lot more steps to go.
Well, what do we got next now?
I need a beer, Michelle.
Oh, we need
I'm
a
gonna,
beer?
I'm gonna switch from Stella to a Warsteiner.
Ah,
Oh,
Warsteiner.
okay.
Yeah, that's. Was the cap open for a couple days, or?
I just flipped it off.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Flipped it off.
I'm the union man, you know. I'm just.
You're right. Keep an eye on me.
Yep.
All right, let's show you something.
What do we
cool.
got now?
If anyone's interested, this is for sale too, by the way.
Oh, I knew.
Michelle and I have had this
We
for
don't
a
sell
while.
stuff here. We don't. Nope. We're not pushing anything.
Bad habit of keeping.
Well,
What the hell is that mess?
That is probably one of the coolest pieces I've seen in a long time.
That's cool.
well,
We've had
we've
that
had it
for
at our
12
shop
years.
for the last, I don't know how many years, 10
Long
years,
time.
something like
Because
that.
nobody wanted it.
Yeah, but it's cool. I think it's really cool.
What is
Especially,
it? It looks like a
especially
big,
It's a tea kettle.
I want it.
and it's probably from a ship of some kind, I would think anyway, because it's so large. But what's really cool is, zoom in on that, Avi.
What do you got there? Oh yeah.
It's an Eagle M Kriegsmarine.
Yeah, Marine Eagle.
Oh, really? That's a naval
Yeah,
naval
yeah.
piece. Well, that was obviously for the whole ship when dinner was going on, or mess, whatever you want to
Now,
call
is it
it.
a teapot or a coffee pot?
It's tea. It's a kettle.
That's a hell of a teapot.
Or is it for Imperial?
Maybe.
Ah, there we go. That
Well,
would be good.
it is whatever you want to put in it, but I'd absolutely say it's a tea kettle.
Where are you ever going to get another
And
coffee?
probably, yeah, and that's probably that's a really,
see what
really
that
cool
is.
piece.
Where does it say it's Kriegsmarine? Huh? Oh, all the way. It's just got a little naval
Proof
stamp
stamp,
up
yeah.
at the yeah. So it was no big deal, but it's Navy, and that's what it is.
Anything on the bottom at all?
Yeah.
Have you ever?
I hope a bottom. That's all.
no, the bottom wouldn't have anything. If
No,
it's
there's
a
nothing
tea
on
kettle, yeah, they're
No,
cooking
it's
it.
Practical.
Whatever it is, it's been well used,
Yeah.
and
it
imagine
was-
how many sailors had
Yeah.
tea or whatever out of that.
I don't know. It's so big. How could it be a tea kettle? Maybe it's for.
Because you had
a
a
lot of
couple
people.
hundred people to serve tea to. That's
it
why.
has to be though.
And the
yeah.
story behind it was a deep sea fisherman was fishing over the wreck of the Bismarck. It's a joke.
That's a cool piece, Bar.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's that cool, but it's.
You don't like it? No.
I like it, but it's just. Yeah, it's okay. It's from the German.
It's one of those
Navy,
dopey
for
things
Sure. It's you know, that's a. I don't know what you want for it, but that's a you know a
You could display that.
$300-400 piece or something.
You
know.
could display it right next to a Navy dagger.
No, it would make the Navy dagger look bad. You know. No, it's.
We got
it's
things
cool.
coming in. We got things coming in.
Okay, last week somebody walked into our shop and he drove all the way down from Scranton, PA, if you can imagine that. Can't emphasize how great websites are. And it did have a relative living in North Jersey, so this was the second leg of his trip. But he saw our website and he brought in 5 blades.
Oh, that's a nice bag. Wow, look
So
at
go
here.
ahead, Johnny, do your thing.
Oh, they're nice. Early too. That's
Yeah, I
really
like the
nice.
early Luftwaffes.
Ooh, early lofts.
Well, nobody ever
Wow.
cleaned these, and they're really.
Untouched,
that.
completely untouched.
Really.
And they've. If you look at this too, what you want to look at a Luftwaffe sword, if the silvering is still in between the legs
Yeah,
of the sun
great
wheels,
sign.
that's a good thing. Nobody has obviously ever cleaned this, and the leather is still
Really nice.
still really good.
Also on the grip.
Yeah.
Just a couple rubs, but that's
Yeah. No, it's a nice sword. Let's see who made this baby.
yeah. Where's first?
Yeah, it looks like a great blade. Just needs a little wiping off. I don't know what that is
I haven't
there,
touched
but
it at all.
I can see that. And it's Waffenham too, isn't it?
Yeah, Wiersburg, Waffenham, right there.
Wiresburg, is it Wiresburg?
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah. Well, this is
nice
something,
sword.
this is kind of a diamond in the rough, you know, you just,
Wipe off the blade with a
yeah,
little
15
semi-chrome.
minutes of just cleaning it
Beautiful
up a
dagger.
little bit, and it's a great sword.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's initial production, and that's really nice. If I could find the throat here. I can usually find the throat earlier in the drinking episodes, but
Gets harder as
Oh,
it
that's
goes.
got a guard on it. The other
Yeah, this
one.
one's got the
Yeah.
hanger,
Yeah.
yeah.
which you always want
And
to find.
again, these
Those
look
get
like they
lost.
come from the same source. They've been exposed to everything that's.
Similar.
I think
Storage
they've been
condition.
together since the end of the
Yeah.
war.
Now this one, some of the silvering is worn off between the sun wheels, so this was worn a little bit more.
Doesn't matter. They got a really nice look to them, both of them.
Hanger's
Yeah.
good.
My personal opinion.
Wow.
You know, with this stuff too, collectors, you look at it and it's all grungy and all that. But these fittings were all silver plated, and I mean, you don't have to clean it, but you just know that. Oh, I know it's shining underneath.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I like it as it is.
Exactly.
Really, just
A
like,
I
lot
like it as
many
it is,
collectors
too, yeah.
want it just like that.
yeah,
It's
just like
untouched,
the honor
and
goblet.
It's just like it
And
came.
here
yeah,
again, you didn't wipe anything off.
Untouched.
This looks like it just came back from the war.
But that's going to be a minty blade.
But
once
it's a mint
wiped out.
blade
It
because
is.
remember these
just-
blades were nickel plated and they
Yep.
didn't. You know, it's really
Another beautiful Wiresburg.
yeah. Let
So
me
this
look
guy
at that.
came from Scranton, drove past Morristown, and went to Millville. Is that basically what you're saying?
Almost
Okay.
a 4-hour drive for
What's
him.
other wires?
Maybe
Other
you
wires.
can call him
Wow.
an appointment
Yeah.
and very
Nice, a
have
bit
him be
long
there if
too.
you
Nice
weren't.
looking long
I'm
swords.
just
you know?
having
Yeah.
fun. I'm just having fun.
4
Yeah,
hours,
no, that's a nice
You should have done a
thing.
detour here, Rob.
I know.
What are you looking for on these pieces, Barry?
What do you think is realistic?
Oh, about $40.
We're just
I
showing.
mean 1940s.
We're just showing. We're not buying, Dad.
No, we're not. We're not selling
just showing.
stuff here,
Speak
but
for yourself.
but they're really nice.
Yeah.
You guys out there that love untouched pieces,
They
This
are,
is it.
yeah.
I mean, you even have the pleasure of wiping off all the fingerprints, and I know those blades are going to be mint
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah.
No
They're
question, they
great
will be.
pieces. They really are. They really are.
Yep, they're nice. They're nice Luftaffes, especially this one that still has a hanger and all.
This man's father-in-law was an intelligence officer, and he was in Berlin at the end of the war for quite
yeah?
a bit of time. Yeah, this was in the same group.
Well, see, in the same group, but look how the aluminum doesn't take the age.
Yeah.
Still got the gilt
Nice.
on the sun wheels. Again, beautiful leather. The leather's really great on them.
Really nice.
Yeah, very nice. Look at that. You know, it's all there. And that's an SMF. Yeah, nice.
That's very
I always
nice.
like the Luft swords. I think.
Everybody loves the Luft
Great
swords, right?
design.
Man, beautiful design.
Well, how
about
can you
looking
have a
good on the wall?
collection without having a look for
Have
it?
to
You
have
you
one,
To have
yeah.
one, yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Does anybody need another drink? I know I do.
Wow, of course.
We're,
We don't want to be too sober through these
we're
things.
refreshing up the drinks for the end of the
Yeah, I need an ice cube.
review here of all the military and Virginia.
I can give you an ice cube.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's a small ice
my
cube.
God.
Probably not, though. Probably.
Yeah,
Probably just,
He wants another ice cube.
that's what you get when you're older.
all right, let me get you another cube.
What, an
bottom of
extra
the
ice
barrel.
cube? Bottom of the barrel,
Get what
yeah.
you're given.
There you go.
You take
Oh,
what
the
you
hell with
get.
that one.
What the hell?
All right.
Now,
I'm gonna put her
now.
down in drinks.
So mean.
What kind of a bartender are you here? Get with it.
Now, I'm sorry, collectors. You have to watch all this. So we're drinking, and
Part of it.
one guy, a few episodes ago, I remember, and I said something about. He says, "Boy, if I wanted to watch somebody getting drunk, I could just go to the bar down the street." But you wouldn't see all these great
Right.
people and all these nice things, and
I thought it was Wittmann's Bar and Militaria.
You're right. You're right.
Tomorrow it is.
Or this video it is.
Yeah.
Just jealousy is all it is.
So,
There's even a little left.
like we always do, you know, we want to let you know, guys, that we're having fun doing this,
Right.
and we want you to drink too and smoke cigars or
Bob
cigarettes. And Bob Burns. There's guys that we mentioned. Bob Burns Cutter.
Yeah, we haven't said Bob Burns all the whole video. Yeah.
So far, we haven't been able to mention a Bob Burns Cutter because Barry's been dominating the.
The
But
scene.
that's okay
It is
too.
Here
great.
we are.
It's great.
Thank you,
Here we
Michelle.
are. You're welcome. Here we go.
Thank you.
All right then. Let's
Service
rip
around
it.
here.
All right,
Okay,
now
All right.
It's like-
everybody's
God bless you.
guaranteed to have a full down drink here. I mean, that's it. Mom,
Cheers, collectors.
All right.
all right.
Very
Enjoy.
good.
Cheers, collectors.
Enjoy.
Michelle,
Have a
thank you
great
very
time.
much.
Michelle, you're drinking too.
Oh,
The
yeah.
bartender's
Yeah.
drinking. Oh,
Little
no.
Sauvignon.
It's a good
Oh, Cabernet Sauvignon. That's a good one.
It is one good wine. Good selection, Ron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the
Okay.
ones you have to lay down, and they get better every year and all that. You know.
Oh, go ahead. It's yours.
What the
Yeah.
hell else we got
Go
here?
ahead. Okay, 2 more daggers, then I'm done.
All right.
Just two. Wow. Oh, we have this lovely second look.
This came with a Luftwaffe.
Gotta love them when they're complete.
Oh, this
Look
came
at
with the
those
swords.
hangers.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Yeah, when you see that, you
Gotta love
kind of
that.
think they're all original to the piece and all.
I'm
You
sure
know,
that one is.
I like to look at the hangers and see whether there's
Yeah,
you know a little
the
bit,
porta-pee. Where?
or the porta-pee, I should say. Boy, the hangers are really nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is that manufacturer that I like that you don't see too often. These buckles are really, really good,
Yeah.
and they're much better than the normal buckles that are on them.
Yeah.
And
Got
you know,
deep and crisp.
somebody that has a buckle missing, they think, oh, you can just, you know, if you get one of these, it doesn't match yours, and if you have these, you can't get another one anyhow. So,
Yeah. It's
because these are rare to see, and if you
beautiful
look at
detail.
them,
Yeah.
look at
depth.
look how sharp
Yeah.
the corners and all are, and that's a really, really nice hanger.
It's really long too, though. Like almost a foot
Not
long.
not really long, but they're and the backs of them are. For you guys that collect hangers, you'll recognize these as a really, really premium
Yeah, I
premium
Never studied
hangers.
them at all. How about that?
And the
They're
hangers
still
are,
crispy.
they're so
Yeah,
stiff.
they're still stiff,
They
yeah.
they won't worn much.
Can you hold it up, Bob?
I can, yeah. I think.
Yeah, look at that. Are you telling me those hangers are long?
Yeah.
The hangers are fantastic.
Yeah, the hangers.
I haven't seen a dagger yet, but the hangers are.
Nice.
I love these with these deluxe fittings, and you don't see them much at all.
Yeah.
And most collectors don't realize that they're much higher quality than normal.
Look at the felt backing. It's beautiful.
Oh, they're great
lovely
hangers.
hangers.
Here we are. We're got a
I know, right,
dagger
the
here.
dagger.
We're
We're all
raving
getting
about
into the
the
hanger.
hangers.
One thing at a time.
But you know that's the subtleties of the hobby.
Yeah.
Some things are
that's the
really,
beast.
really
Yeah.
good, and these hangers. I mean these hangers are so good. I would love to take them off and just put them in my collection because
Really?
they're just something you never see.
You're going to talk me into keeping the whole dagger.
He's
Well,
good at that.
the hangers are original to the piece, I assume, but
That's just how the guy
these
said he got
hangers
it.
are really, really hard to find with those deluxe fittings, and just the crisp corners of
Yeah.
them and
The depth of the
you know
leads.
what that is,
Yeah,
Johnny?
absolutely.
Barry doesn't
100%.
know, but you
Yeah,
know
you gotta love
that
those
is
buckles.
really, really a tremendous set of hangers. And it's funny too with these the buckles and slides, how nice they are, and then they just put the normal
Yeah,
pebbled.
and the top two,
you know,
right?
Yeah, the top two. Yeah,
The top
it's all
lip.
normal stuff. But it was some hanger manufacturer that's the way they did it, and the boss liked that or whatever.
Well, this you don't really see much anyway. It's
Yeah.
going to be that, and boy, that's beautiful.
No, those are. I'll bet those hangers are worth $300 just on their own. They're really, really not for somebody that knows what they are. Go find them. So guys, look at that stuff because that's kind of important. And then the knot is on upside down in
We
my
had one like
opinion.
that yesterday, yeah. Last video.
You know,
yeah.
when they have it, because if you just take it, slide it off of the whole thing, and then just turn it
Flip it over,
around.
yeah.
And the idea is you want the knot to look like this on the
On the front, yeah.
not on the back.
So it's probably been taken apart at some point.
Well, but I think people didn't always tie it perfectly to regulation as well.
No,
You find all
think,
kinds
you
of little
think these
variations
guys
on
knew what
porta
the.
knots, yeah.
And then what's interesting too, look at the
Yeah.
look of the
Agreed.
swaz on the pommel.
Beautiful.
That originally probably had a gilt and
yeah,
it
you can see the
faded
different
and.
color. Yep.
Well, I think the other side has partial
Still
gilding.
has gilt on the back.
Well, we'll take. You got that, Ob? We'll take a look. Yeah, you're right. There it is. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I
That's what you
thought
want.
too. Yeah.
You called it.
It's funny with stuff like that how age just even though it's gilded, the age somehow gets in there and
Moisture and humidity.
it's
Later
it's
grip, right?
Later grip, you know.
Yeah.
I always say
Single twist.
these white grips they made these for the Luftwaffe pilots normally.
What's the cross?
1940.
What's the cross guard look like? Pop right here. on the
Well,
top?
the cross guard is a normal. I can't tell the maker because all this
No, I mean,
stuff.
is it etched or is it pressed or the top part of it?
Well, it's got the etched oak leaves, and the scabbard is nice too.
Who do you think it is?
Oh, I don't know,
This
but
is hard,
there's
yeah.
no you can't
There's
tell
nothing
from
that tells
these.
On this
A
one.
lot of them are even no maker, so
Yeah.
you don't know. But this is a very very nice 1940 vintage piece, and let's see what the. Oh, beautiful blade!
Wow, yeah.
Boy, that's really nice. Yeah,
Nice little.
nice blade. Well, like I said, no maker.
It remains a mystery.
What it was, when the war started, and of course, and then the pilots really got going after England and all that. The Luftwaffe needed a ton of daggers for their pilots, and what they did, they put out a contract, and maybe 10 or 12 producers, 20 producers, I don't know. They all agreed to make the daggers, and the idea was you're just making daggers. Don't put your name on them because the Air Force is hiring you to do these. So this is what
Meet
it
the
was.
quota.
So kind of like Sears, you know, if you buy a washer from Sears, it doesn't say Frigidaire on it, but that's who made it. You know, it was the same idea.
Yeah, no, he's right.
So.
Boy, that's a
But
nice.
the condition of this is really superb.
I like it like
This
that.
is
Never touched. You can tell. Never.
it's never it is never touched. It's an outstanding dagger, and the hangers. This producer, even though he was in on the contract, apparently, he had a good hanger manufacturer, or that was separate. I don't know, but those hangers they are superb.
Nice. Really nice.
I hate to say, but unfortunately, I think that the person that got this dagger didn't have a chance to wear it. I think he was probably killed.
Very late, and there's almost no.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no
hangwear.
there's no wear at all on it. And I like the gild on the back there.
Long.
And the only reason it's there is because the dagger was probably stored from the backside up. And
Offers.
but that's really a nice.
Good.
You know, if I were collecting Luftwaffe daggers, I'd love to have that, just the way it is. It's really, really great.
Just look at the wear on the rings. Yeah,
Johnny
that-
likes it too, so
I
that's
do.
a good
Yeah, that
sign.
was not worn. Look,
Yeah, there's no.
there's no carry wear.
This is here's your dagger, and the next flight he was killed.
It's tragic.
All right, collectors, we're proceeding here with Barry, and I think we've got one more piece.
One more piece. This
Yeah.
is the last of the 5 blades that came into her shop last week.
Yeah.
And this one I would like to keep. Debbie told me, emphasize, you would like to keep it so she doesn't get any calls about it.
So there you
So I
go.
want to keep it unless Tom or Johnny tell me, get rid of it.
I've heard that
Get rid of
before.
it.
If you offer enough money,
Get rid of it.
want to keep it as
I like it already.
I
yeah,
like it
that's
too.
I like it a lot.
look at that, Johnny. Take a look at it. Look at those guards and the grip.
That's
and,
what you. That's just what you
beautiful
want to see out of the box.
anodizing,
Yeah. Come on, we're talking about a lovely early
You know,
dagger.
It's amazing how
Complete
these
normal
are
per
early
period wear.
essays too. They're
Yeah.
just boy, they're
Nickel
nice
silver
condition.
fittings. Look at the fit. Just look at the hand done fit on that cross
Yeah.
guard.
Yeah, that is nice.
Look
Yeah.
at this, Robbie. You got that?
Yeah.
Eagle, beautifully set. Nickel
Yeah.
silver eagle. Love the grain in the grip, by the way. I always like those little uniquenesses. Let's check the back. Lovely. Good to
What's the
see a little
label
more
for it, Tom?
carry wear on the back than you see on the front.
That's what you want to see.
That's what you want to see.
Got a grupo on it.
It does indeed. We're talking about HE.
Hesse.
Hessen,
Hesse.
yeah. That's Hessen, yeah.
What's the blade look like?
I like this little grain here that
Isn't
comes
this
in.
great
there.
here?
Yeah,
And
it's really
especially
nice,
this.
yeah.
Do you see this right here? This is really cool.
Look at the
Tiger
fit of that
Yeah.
grip too, though.
I know, the fit is laser
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, they did that all by hand in the early days.
Oh, they did. They did. I don't know how they did it.
How much time that took.
Can you imagine that? Well, we have $3 million, $3
million
daggers to produce, and we have to hand fit every one. How do they do it?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Missing a few screws.
Oh,
Lower fitting screws.
why would that be? I wonder.
Doesn't
came
look like
that
it's
way?
ever been removed,
No.
but they might have been lost. Well, that's
Well,
something
that's
that
an easy
can be
fix.
easily
Easy
fixed.
fix,
There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we're looking at.
Oh, nice blade.
Beautiful
yeah.
blade. My goodness.
Yeah, that's a killer.
That's
Look at
what
that
you want. You
blade.
get that, Robbie?
Yeah.
Again, just I'm not gonna touch it with my finger, but that'll come right off. It's just a little.
Oh, that blade's mint. I
yeah,
can
it's a
see
mint
it
blade.
from
You can
here,
tell.
Yeah.
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 Not great.
Who's the
Tips
maker, John?
perfect. Nobody can know on this until you just turn it over. Oh wow, Cribs.
Peter
Yeah.
Dan or Carl Julius?
That's Carl Julius, and this
Uh-huh.
is RZM number. Let me think. I got it. It's
Yeah. No, at that time, no RZM.
no. Later they had one
Yeah.
though.
Is that
That's
a
my
rare
drink.
maker?
My
Yes,
drink, John.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, on an earth. Thank you.
My drink. Where's your drink? We're not drunk here. We're
Yeah,
just-
right. You gotta watch. You gotta watch.
That's a very rare maker for an
Krebs, an early nice. Yeah, Krebs made a lot of stuff, but they early essays. Boy, what a beautiful thing. Not a big maker.
So
early
did the
essays.
other? There's 2 cribs then.
Yeah, there's Peter Dunn Krebs, which is the lobster mark, and then there's this Krebs, which is the crown on the
And they
K
both
mark.
made essay
Separate
daggers.
companies. Yes, I believe
Just
they
the same
did.
name, but separate
Yeah,
companies.
different companies.
You know, it may have been too that they were family related and maybe
Right.
went back to
Like
the
all the
1800s
Waresburgs and all
they
that,
may,
yeah.
you know, like Waresburg
Yeah.
and many of them.
So on a scale of what is the scale they always talk about?
Oh, the
Mixar?
Yeah.
scale. I don't know. On a Krebs,
Yeah.
I would guess somewhere around what would you say? 6?
Well,
5?
let me just look at the. If
Rarity of it.
it were Peter Dan Krebs, it would be much
Yeah,
higher.
Peter Dunn Krebs
than
is
Carl
much higher. They
Krebs.
never had an RZM code, by the way. Yeah, that's interesting.
But still, you don't see the Carl Julius Krebs either on SA
No.
Joey daggers. But that's, I haven't looked at the Mixar chart, but I would say that's probably a
Yeah.
7 or an 8 somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
But the condition is extraordinary. It's a very, very nice dagger.
Yeah, they
Great,
got
great.
RCM code 7/05.
Oh, is that it?
This
Yeah.
is Krebs, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Good maker. Beautiful dagger. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great
Thanks.
great video tonight, Dad. You want to end it?
Well, I think we have to wrap it up
Yeah.
because we're probably going here 2 hours on.
Close to it. Yeah.
We never did get to any unboxing,
It'll
but
be
that's
next.
okay.
It's gonna be next, right?
but I think we had a lot of fun.
That was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Seeing you.
Yeah, you too.
What was it,
Good
last year I saw you? We
No,
came
it
to your
was
place?
headed back in
Check out the
January,
video.
I think it headed after
February, yeah, okay,
You
maybe
were
late.
there. You
Yeah,
stayed an
okay.
extra
That's
month.
what it was.
And
Yeah.
this will be probably your last video now, right?
Maybe, unless we can crack some of the boxes.
No, we went on too long now.
No?
Barry-
no, for tonight,
Barry
yeah,
and
yeah.
Michelle have to go to a restaurant and,
Party time for them.
party time for them,
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thank
it's
you,
over.
Barry and Michelle, for
All right,
coming
Tom,
out.
thank you.
Yeah,
She is.
and Mom, there she is, and
We are.
Hey,
You still
collectors.
drinking? I'm
still
Put 'em on my
drinking again, and
And we have to thank Michelle for her
absolutely.
absolutely.
service.
For getting you drunk.
Fantastic.
Not drunk.
No,
We'll give you another one.
I will do it. I will do it. Lovely.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. And
Absolutely.
thank you, collectors, for watching all this nonsense. It's we're doing it just for fun, I guess. But
Aren't we all?
It's and we want to share it with you because we love the hobby so much. We love you guys, and if there's anything we can do for anybody,
Bring it on.
send us an email. We'll be happy to do it. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, collectors.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody noticed Tom's shirt.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Bourbon and whiskey.
What? Where?